Donald Trump has just stolen a whole flipping oil tanker and nobody is calling it theft. And forget eating the cats and dogs, he is literally eating up my timeline today. So you might as well grab your chai and let's talk about it. So it was reported today that Donald Trump and the American administration boarded and stole a whole flipping oil tanker from the Venezuelans. Now, this oil tanker was called the Skipper and it was holding over 1 million barrels of oil. And that all belongs to Donald Trump now. Somebody please explain to me the difference between Somali pirates and Donald Trump. He's out here talking about the Somalis and he's literally a bigger theft and pirate than them. The tanker that has been stolen by Donald Trump was actually headed to Cuba, and the reason was given that because Cuba is under sanction, the oil should not be going there. Now, let me point out, it's America that has placed Cuba under sanctions. There is no issue between Venezuela and Cuba, so why shouldn't they be able to supply their own oil to their Cuban neighbors? Now, the interesting part of it is that this is all because Donald Trump wants a regime change. He wants to get rid of Muradio and replace him with Maria Corina Machado. Now, she is very pro-American, very pro-Trump, and she has been quoted as saying that she is very, very happy to sell Venezuelan oil to the Americans. So when you see Donald Trump and his American troops circling Venezuela, talking about narcotics, it's all a lie. They are after the oil in Venezuela. And did you know? Venezuela has a bigger oil reserve than any other country in the world. Forget Saudi Arabia, forget the UAE, forget Nigeria. Venezuela is number one. Could you imagine if any other country in this world stopped and stole the oil from a tanker belonging to another country? I predict what we will see going forward is a whole takeover of Venezuela. There will be a military coup and Trump will be behind it. Don't judge me. This is my Donald Trump bog brush. No, it's not been down the toilet. It's very clean, but I bring it out for special occasions like today. Anyway, let's move on to story number 2. And apparently there is something called the Donald Trump gold card. And do you think you can qualify for it? Well, I will tell you now. I definitely can't because I don't have £1,000,000 to give him for it. So America is introducing a new visa system and it's called the Trump gold card. Now, apparently if you have £1,000,000 as an individual or £2 million as a corporation, you can buy yourself American residency. Yes, you can go for that gold card and you can be living in the States because money buys everything. Whoa, I don't think the cats like the gold card. Did you hear that? Anyway, Trump actually tweeted about this gold card and it's shaped like an American gold card. It has his face on it, the Statue of Liberty, his signature, like Trump gold card. And wait for it. There's actually a platinum version, but I'll get. Oh my God, the cats really don't like me talking about Trump. All I can hear. Trump's quote said it is a direct path to citizenship for all qualified and vetted people. Oh my God, my cats really don't like this story. So if you are vetted and you qualify, you can get this gold card if you have a spare million or two lying around. And he actually went on in an interview to say that it would help keep workers from India, China, and France. That's just so random. I want to know exactly who will be buying this residency. Now, it's been predicted that they don't even think Trump will be able to sell one. Because remember, the people have to be qualified and vetted, and he will be turning down the Russian oligarchs and all of that. But I'm sure that some of those rich sheikhs from the UAE and Saudi Arabia will get their £1 million Trump gold card. Third story that I'm going to bring you today isn't actually about Trump, but it's the result of Trump's policies. Wait, I nearly forgot to tell you about the platinum card. So apparently the platinum card allows you to enter America for 270 days. And in those 270 days, you don't have to pay any tax on your foreign income. But the platinum card costs $5 million. Anyway, let's move on to the next story now. You would have to be blind to miss the connection between Trump's policies and his own personal views that he spouts at press conferences to not notice the link between Trump and the rise of the far right in America. Now, footage has emerged today online of a group called Blood Tribe that marched in the capital of Arkansas, which is Little Rock, this last weekend. Now, this group were carrying a sign saying that race mixing is communism. And they are also the same far-right group that was spreading a conspiracy theory online that people of immigration status were eating cats and dogs. Do you remember that one? Even Trump was talking about it. They're eating the cats and dogs. They're eating the cats and dogs. This group were behind that particular rumor. Now, it's interesting that they chose to go to Little Rock. If you want to know why, this group of 20 white men who were masked and carrying black flags with the Nazi symbol were marching through Little Rock. Let me explain. Now, Little Rock is the area where 9 black students were admitted to a segregated school during the 60s. So it's very, very relevant that they chose this as the location to march with neo-Nazi flags. And nothing happened to them. In fact, when the police stopped them, they just gave them a warning for having, I don't know, about 10 of them in the back of a van. And it was allowed to happen on the American streets because of Trump's policy. But the wonderful thing about the video going online is that whoever was recording it was mocking them, telling them to take down their masks, calling them crackers, all kind of things. And there was no retaliation. So this shows what kind of cowards are part of the far right in America. They are literally trying to undo all the work that was done in the civil rights movement. And believe me, that wasn't that long ago. There are still people alive that were there during the civil rights movement. It is a recent part of our history. It doesn't matter that we are British and they are American. The rise of the far right is spreading across Europe, America, Canada, Australia. This is something that we need to be extremely concerned about, and the policies and the languages of politicians and people in power need to be looked at, and they need to be held accountable. Like I just said, this is not just an American problem. We have a huge issue in the UK with the rise of the far right, and the media is emboldening them. And of course, I've got to talk about GB News, the king of racist and anti-Muslim news propaganda. So a recent report was done by a monitoring group called the Center for Media Monitoring, and they have reported that GB News mentioned Muslims and Islam 17,000 times in 2 years. 17,000 times. It seems that GB News bases their whole news style on anti-immigration, anti-Muslim, anti-Islamic propaganda. They literally cannot take our names out of their mouths. And I find it highly entertaining that we live in their heads rent-free while we're just trying to navigate a difficult life in a country where our government is corrupt, our police are corrupt, people cannot afford to pay for their housings, their bills, or their foods. And you want to talk about Muslims 17,000 times. How about we tackle poverty instead? How about we unite brown, black, and white people across the UK against the rich, against the government, against the people who are actually eating us? Forget eating the cats and dogs. The rich are eating us. If I'm really honest with you, I am sick and tired of the anti-Muslim rhetoric. I am sick and tired of the racism. I am sick and tired of the anti-immigration propaganda. Stop it. There are brown and black people being slaughtered in genocides all over the world. We have Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Kashmir, just to name a few. The list goes on and on and on. And you want to waste our time directing people who are actually vulnerable, the people that are being oppressed and persecuted. And you know, I'm going to end this show with something else that's making me really, really angry, which is making me rage today. It's making me rage that we are on day 40 of a hunger strike. It's making me rage that it has taken close to 40 days for the mainstream legacy media to finally open their mouths, the flipping cowards. So today, on the 40th day of this hunger strike, I want to remind you of the demands of the 8, yes, now it's 8 hunger strikers. So demand number 1, scrap the proposed £2.7 billion contract between the MOD and Elbit Systems. Number 2, permanent closure of all Elbit Systems UK arms facilities. Number 3, an end to the censorship of prisoners' communication. Number 4, deprescribe Palestine action. And number 5, immediate bail and disclosure of all documents relating to their cases. These are the demands of the 8 hunger strikers. Pay attention and make something happen. So anyway, I'm struggling today. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm struggling. The rage is taking over. So I'm going to go, but I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bring your chai and let's chat some more.